Um, well, anyway, what I was actually saying, you know, people want to make it real dramatic, Do you want to know why the Jesters associated with being shot? Like, oh my god, they're gonna shoot the Jester. Do you know why? It's just because of how long the Jester waited. And they kind of joked. They were like, are you waiting until death to fucking do your performance? Like, the Jester's like, just one more. I need to, do one more thing first. I haven't gotten something ready. I need to do something else first. This is obviously like the fucking fall, you know? They're like, oh, just give me a little bit more time. And then I'm gonna do the thing, I'm gonna lock in. And like, anyway, so basically the Jester, because remember, he only gets called that afterwards, so he's just an idiot. But like, basically, he's not fucking doing anything. And then he's like, oh, but I will. I'm about to. Just not yet. I will do it tomorrow, or I'm about to do it today. Today's the day. Like, he fucking says that every fucking day, and he gets to the point where everyone's laughing. Because he's like, today's the day. Or like, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Or like, every single goddamn excuse gets heard by this weird idiot. And eventually, some believe him, some fucking don't. But eventually, people get done with it. They're like, well, maybe he's up to something. Is he actually doing nothing? What is he up to? And eventually they're like, well, maybe he's waiting till death to do anything, because he's not fucking doing anything ever. And yes, this is the thing, by the way, the fall does get associated with death, because, I mean, they don't know how to live, so people are like, you're not living, so you're dead. Anyway, so basically, eventually, people are like, we're gonna fucking shoot you, and then maybe then, you'll be scared into doing it. And eventually, obviously, they're just like, well, let me explain, let me talk, let me explain. And they want to explain to everyone, and then it's obviously where you get the Jester being put on a stage, because they're like, I need to explain. But the irony is that everyone just laughs at every single fucking explanation he gives, because it makes no fucking sense. He's like, oh no, I was gonna get around to something, but then I didn't get around to it, and then he makes the irony is that he's actually telling the truth, but it just sounds so fucking dumb, because it's like, what is up with this idiot? Was he being like, tormented by the devil? Like, how bad can it be? It must be pretty fucking bad. Anyway, so everyone's just laughing, but the Jester is actually just explaining why he never gets around to doing anything, and why, and it's literally just that. Anyway, so the Jester has nothing to do with him telling jokes. People just laugh at everything he says, because no one gets what the fuck he's saying. And then obviously when they actually are saying what they were doing, they never actually got around to doing it anyway. So it's like, well, you actually are just a Jester, because you don't actually do anything. He's like, yeah, but I was going to. You don't get it. I was actually going to. I actually was going to do something, but then I just never did it. And then it's like, what? And then they go, but why? And then obviously he starts saying why, and then obviously people start laughing, so like, that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, that's what the Jester's doing, and that's why people want to shoot him, because they're literally just like, by the time someone becomes a Jester, it's like people already want to fucking kill you, because they're literally just like, what are you doing? What is your purpose? You're just an idiot. You don't do anything. And then they eventually end up a comedian, but obviously they're telling the truth. But it's just because they're so dumb that everyone laughs, because it's so funny. Someone telling the truth about how much they're struggling. They're like, but what could you possibly be struggling with? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, and then it's funny. That's the joke. Is that they're telling the truth. This is a reading. Take what resonates. No, these days everyone's a clown, everyone's a jest. Everyone's an idiot, and everyone seems to want to be a fool. Everyone wants to be the fool. Everyone. Yeah. You know, asking God before you go on stage, make me say the right things, or I'm gonna, the jester talking straight from God's word. Because otherwise he might get shot if, God didn't bless the jester. So basically the jester is just a idiot that got blessed by God because people were willing to kill the idiot. But the God was like, well, you can't kill the idiot because that doesn't serve the purpose. He's supposed to be an idiot. So all of a sudden God had to bless the idiot because he was so lowest of the low. So then the idiot's on stage now explaining to people why he's an idiot. And then obviously everyone's laughing because they're like, not the idiot explaining himself, thinking that he's explaining it. Because no, you're just an idiot. Anyway, but then it's like, yeah, but were they? Anyway, basically, train wreck material. Train wreck. People love putting train wrecks on stages. And it's actually God's way of making sure that people don't kill them. God bless the clowns. Or the jester on his own. Again, the clowns, they found a whole bunch. There were rejections of society. I don't see it that way. Maybe it is that way. Maybe that word is fucking rejecting people back then. Back in the day, they used to kill us. Killing us for jesting. But he wasn't jesting. He wasn't telling a joke. In the one takes, it literally was actually telling jokes. Maybe the jester eventually has told jokes because they started realizing, well, if everyone's laughing, maybe they did start to put in some lies. Well, the jester would know when he's lying. I know when the jester's lying. I can tell. Because I have it in first person for some reason. I don't know why, but I see it in first person. I choose to see it in first person. Because I want to. Anyway. The lipstick's not on enough. Maybe it is. Billy. There we go. I'm fucking supposed to. Hear me out. I'm not an idiot. Or maybe I am an idiot. But here's why I'm an idiot. Again, that's iconic. I'm not an idiot. Maybe I am an idiot. Well, maybe I am an idiot. But here's why. That was a moment. The first time someone said that was very funny. Not anymore. If you want to be a jester nowadays, do you get what I mean? If you want to be a jester nowadays, you have to goddamn the context. Because we're used to everyone being an idiot. So you have to actually be like an idiot. You have to... Not more of an idiot, no. It's just that you have to be more of a reflection. It has to be unknown. Because otherwise then you're just an idiot. And then it's just annoying. There has to be an unknown. If you want to be a jester, there has to be something that people are missing. That's the appeal of the jester. So if you want to be lowest of the low, there just has to be something about you unknown. But you must always be telling them something though, because otherwise then it's just nothingness. I guess maybe someone will be like, I want to fade into the nothingness. I'm like, well then you won't let me fade into the nothingness. And no, please, come back. Gold. Anyway, I made more sense before when I was just talking about things in my life. I don't really need to be talking about jesters. It's a bit literal for me to talk about it. Hear me out. Anyway. Kiwi. Well, I had a lot of things to say before, now I'm not really saying much. I'm not saying much. I had something to say before. It made sense before. You can't see my blanket, can you? You can't tell how cold I am. Anyway, I'm a little bit sleepy. I'm gonna... Anyway... You're just looking at me looking at myself. Or maybe I'm just looking at... maybe I'm not looking at myself. You didn't know that. I'm telling you. Maybe you can tell. Well, now I'm telling you, so now that I can't tell. Well, now that I'm telling you, how am I supposed to know? How I know nothing about etiquette. Now I'm the cause of my own problem. I've never thought of it that way before. Maybe I'm the one causing my own problem. Why I've never thought of it like that before. Oh, but I actually haven't, look. Oh, you all think that you can laugh like as if you've all thought of that before. No, you haven't. Wait, you guys do think about that? You guys actually do think about with it? Yeah, but who else is the cause of their own problems? I'm the one who is the cause of my own problems. Aren't I supposed to be the silly one? And then they laughed. Oh, how could they laugh? Okay, wait. I want to be sleepy. I'm too tired. Anyway, I don't have anything to say. I was saying so much before and it was very interesting. It's like about a joke I was going to set up. Now we're talking about actually telling jokes. Because of course the jester was being serious. He wasn't telling any jokes anyway. But when it comes to me in my actual life, my other one, no, this what you know. Would you say such a thing? Anyway, basically, I'm fucking alright. I'm just fucking have a joke that I've got set up. It's perfect. The context will be perfect. I've chose to engage with the stagnancy because what else is there to do? I really am, you know, the whole I'm gonna run away from my problems kind of just run into the silence. I'm not even going to be involved. Oh wait, I do need to be involved in my own life. Can't run away from every problem. I can run away from a few, but not all of them. That's a bit silly. Anyway, I feel gross. I feel bad. Anyway, kiwi. Kiwi. Bounce. Bounce. Squelch. Bounce. Anyway. I'm just doing what I do, but I'm not kidding when I say I will have something to fucking say next time. Put on a camera. Laugh at me. And then when the jester was like, "Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me," said the comedian. What? Anyway, don't laugh at me. How could you laugh at me? I'm being serious. And then people laughed even more. Oh, you're being he's being serious. He ain't joking. Anyway, and when people realized that the jester wasn't joking, listen to me. I'm being serious. How could you laugh? I mean what I say. And they were like, that makes it worse, you idiot, because you're not joking. That means he's actually telling the truth. That makes it even worse. Anyway. Video over.